Good morning, and welcome to the new episode of Reset with Ayurveda. Today's episode, Tammy's story, from personal chaos to people empowerment. Today's conversation is one of the conversations I have been looking forward to have for a long time. Sometimes we invite people of what they do because of what they do, and sometimes we invite people because of who they have become. And Tammy is both. She's a naturopath, a cryotherapy practitioner, entrepreneur, mother, and someone who has dedicated her life to help people to heal. But you know what? What inspired me most wasn't her business, it was her courage. When in life everything goes wrong, how she put herself together and moved step by step towards becoming who she is today. When Tammy joined the Ayurvedic consultancy program, she thought she was coming to learn about food Ayurveda. But what was really interesting is that she ended up meeting parts of herself she hasn't visited in years. So today, it's not about Ayurveda, it's about courage, it's about identity, it's about what happens when a woman decides to stop with that pain and move towards her purpose. Let's welcome Tammy.
Hi,
Good
Dr.
morning.
Good morning.
How are you, dear?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Really good. Thank you for coming for this episode and sharing your story. And
Thank you so much for inviting me to share my experience and the story, and we talk about it.
right. So, your story is really inspirational for many women who are in difficult situation, particularly also then added a point in a difficult situation in a different country, right? That's very different than being in a difficult situation in your own country. So the courage comes from difficult situation. But before we know all of this about what you do and so on, who were you before all of this? Because I know your story is really powerful, from having an experience of domestic abuse to walking out to being a very different person in India. So who was Tammy before all of this?
So first of all, obviously, thank you to Ayurveda to make me realize and think about the things I used to do or I used to be. So in India, I was very naive, happy, friendly, laughing, joking, good life, happy life. Never thought about what's next in the life is coming. Um, Obviously, I was courageous. I was always passionate. I was very artistic, which helped me to increase my life towards where I am today in my career. So it's just like my childhood memories or childhood experiences helped me to keep going.
Right. So you were a carefree girl, but I remember this, that you told me that you have always been the fire focused type, right?
I was always passionate. As if I want to get something, I will go and get her. Go get her. I will go and get it. I won't wait around who's going to provide or who's going to give. So I've always been like that.
Right. So then you moved to UK. That's a very different country than India, and went into a difficult situation with your in-laws and husband. So what happened to the fire? At what point did you realize that you have stopped being yourself? When did you find out this?
It was a big change. It was a big change for me, and unexpected change and unexpected life. To be honest, never thought that was coming. So when it's all started as violence or control or like bullying, you call whatever I've gone through that time, and it took my mind to register what's actually happening, because I've never seen anything like that in our own families. I come from really lovable family, as where everybody comes together, everybody talks together, everybody laugh and joke. And I came to the point in this new life, as I used to just sit alone and talk to myself. I wasn't even allowed to talk to my parents or friends. It was a very controlled environment, but it took me good few months or over a year to understand what was actually happening. So that's realization made me think, oh, I don't laugh anymore. I was forgetting my words because I don't talk to anybody anything. So that's where I started realizing, oh, I'm losing myself, and then I started standing up for myself, but then things were getting worse instead of getting